A dentist and his wife were found gunned down on Tuesday in their home, but their two young children were left unharmed. With no sign of forced entry and no firearm found at the scene, police are left investigating who could have killed them.
911, what's the location of your emergency?
1411 North 4th.
Okay, 1411 North 4th. We've got several calls on that. What's changed since the last person I talked to?
There's a body.
There's a body inside?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on one second. Let me get you on the line with the medic, okay? Stay on the line.
All right, so let's take a look at MC. That's what I'm calling him. MC, who is Monique's ex-husband, her first husband. So here is a wedding photo of them together. We're taking a look at what happened with Spencer and Monique. What if I told you that there is one person who could be a prime suspect that a lot of people aren't talking about? And they didn't live too far away from Spencer and Monique. Fugitive TV, stay tuned. Welcome to Fugitive TV. I am your host, Ray Marcel, where we take a look at cases, either missing people, unsolved cases, mysteries, and we try and take a look at it from a different perspective because I was once a fugitive on the run from the law myself. I did it for 15 years. I lived in different countries, different names, all kind of things. And right now what I do is, since I turned my life around, I am giving insight into the other side that some people cannot do. So I can give you maybe some loopholes that other people aren't thinking of. Just things like that, all right? If you're new to this channel, please like and subscribe, share the video. For everybody that's returning, thank you. You helped my channel blow up so much this past year, I should say now. It's been great. Now, as you see, I'm in a different setting. I'm currently out of town, but that does not mean the videos don't stop, all right? So right now, we're going to take a look at the Spencer and Monique situation. And for you guys that don't know, Spencer and Monique were found unalived in their house, okay? And unalived, I know I hate that word. YouTube, when you say the M word too many times, or you say it, especially on a smaller channel like mine, they flag your channel and they don't show it and all kind of things. So until my channel gets bigger, certain words I have to filter out, unfortunately. Well, they were found unalived in their house. And when they were found unalived, if you guys don't know the story already, they were found with GSW wounds, okay? Bullet wounds. Spencer had two. Reportedly, he had two. She had one. Now, I already did one video on this. They did not find no weapon on the scene or anything like that. In my first video, I said this attack was personal. And the reason why I said that is because, one thing, there was children in the house. The children were not harmed. Okay, so whoever did this, thank God they had some sort of empathy to not harm the kids. Because a lot of times, let's say it's a big hit, cartel hit, mafia hit, even gang related hit, everybody in the house has to go. This kind of has to go. It's called a blackout for you guys that don't know. So they use that term as in like they have to get blacked out, meaning everybody in the house has to go. So this was not an operation like that. There was no blackouts involved. So this was somebody that wanted to do this personally. Um, like I said, he was found with two wounds. She was found with another wound. There was no robbery. Nothing was taken from the house, anything like that, which, you know, there's no home invasion. So if there's nothing taken, there's nothing out to safe or anything like that, then there's no home invasion, okay? Most of the people who do home invasions, they're going to go in there and take something. You're not going to go off somebody and not go in there, at least take what you were in there for. Even if it's $20, they're going to take that $20 and they're going to leave and say at least they got away with something. So that right there tells me, yeah, there's no home invasion. Okay. Now, the home was a nice home in Columbus, Ohio. I've never been there, but some people have told me about the area. The area is going through gentrification. So some people are wondering about the safety. Does somebody follow them home? Things like that. We're going to go through all that stuff. Okay.
Police have identified the dead couple as Spencer and Monique Tepe, both in their late 30s and both multiple times. The couple shared their two children under the age of 6. They were found in the home unharmed, those two kids. Spencer Tepe, he was a practicing dentist, and it was a coworker who called 911 when he didn't show up for work Tuesday morning, saying that was really out of character for him.
Now, there's some things I've found from the news reports, as in when they were showing the house has a Ring doorbell on it, okay? So if the Ring doorbell was working, and if they went through the front door and came out the front door, the Ring doorbell could have caught that. Now, the house does have a detached garage in the back of it with the alley, okay? We don't know if there's any cameras on any of those garages. I'm pretty sure a couple of those houses probably have cameras on the garage, okay? They might even have one. So even if the perpetrator came through the back, they're going to be on camera. There's also a camera right down the street, which is actually a police camera that aims at their house. So if that camera was on and recording, they're going to be able to see who entered the house, especially if it was from the front. Now, right now, police are asking for public's help, and they're asking for any ring cam footage or any footage like that of the perpetrator who did this. Now, I think personally the police have an idea. They probably have somebody on camera, but they're probably trying to piece together the correct evidence to make sure that they can arrest them or her for the charge. Because just because they have somebody on camera does not mean that they did that. So they're probably looking at cell phone records of that person and everything else, right? Pretty much what you're doing. So if the person had the cell phone on them and they were at, pinged to that house, then that could put you there at the scene. All right. Now, some people did say that the name Monique, her name did spike on Google the night before it all happened. They're saying her name spiked on Google, like somebody was searching up her name. Who knows? That could be true. It could not be true. But right now, we're going to take a look at possible reasons of who could have did this. And not only that, one suspect that I kept seeing them being mentioned online. They would not mention the name, and this was Monique's ex-husband. So they wouldn't mention the name of him. And a lot of people were wondering, like, did she really have an ex-husband? Well, she did. And I found the proof that she did. I actually found who this individual is. And I found the history, all kind of things. So I'm going to show you that, all right? But one key thing to this whole thing was the doors were locked when people arrived. They couldn't get in, I guess. Well, one reason is the front door had a key code on it, meaning you put the code in, the door can unlock and open it. A lot of times, those key codes, the way they work, if you don't have one, if it's on a timer, let's say the person could have closed the door behind them, and after, let's say, a minute, it locks automatically. So that could be a reason of how this person was able to leave and the doors still be locked. They could have left through the front door and closed the door, and that key code, after whatever the timing is set on, could have locked. All right. Now, we do know that the husband, Spencer, was a dentist. Okay. Some people are speculating, was it something to do with his job? Okay. Was it an angry client? Somebody that maybe couldn't afford dental care, or somebody who got their teeth mixed up? I don't know. Could it have been a person like that? I've read some comments, a couple comments on my last video where they said that their significant other or they knew somebody who was a dentist and they would get threats if they either couldn't afford the services and the dentist wouldn't, I guess give them a hookup, or if the dentist maybe messed something up. Okay. I don't know how serious the threats are, but they got threats. Okay. So I'm not saying this is ruled out the question, because anything is possible, right? And let me know, what do you guys think? Do you think this is, a theory of what could have happened? Some people were speculating that Spence could have been had an affair with somebody at the office, let's say a secretary or either another dentist or doctor. And maybe the husband found out there was an affair going on and the husband got jealous, because a lot of times these things, when we find these things, a lot of times it is over jealousy when these type of situations happen. So it could be possible. Now, I'm not saying this is what happened, but this is what people were throwing out there. Was there a secretary or something that, and then the husband found out? And then, the husband went and did what he did. Could be possible. Some people was wondering even on her side, did she find somebody while he was working, and then that person wanted to take him out because that would be a love triangle, right? Supposedly they found Spencer in his room. I'm not sure where they found her at, if he was in the room too, or I'm sorry, Monique, if Monique was in the room with Spencer. You guys let me know if you know that detail. But supposedly Spencer was in his room, or their room, I should say, when they found him. So, and remember, he has 2 wounds. She has 1. So there is 2 reasons that this can happen, right? And hers is in the chest. They're not really saying, I don't think they said exactly where his is at. So the person could have used his weapon, pointed at her, and just to get her out the way. Who knows? She could have been collateral, right? And one shot and she passes. Now, we don't know. Let's say if Spencer's in another room, if the wounds are in his back. Let's say maybe he tried to run and get away and he couldn't. They're not saying if maybe he was one in his back, one in the head, and one in the chest. They're not, I haven't seen that. So for example, let's say it's one in the chest, one in the head. Let's say he falls from the first one in the chest, but the person really wants him gone and they stand over him. Now, one in the head. Okay. So that's going to play a key factor right there when they do this investigation, is exactly, since he has 2, did one didn't do the job and maybe he tried to run away? Or was it 2 separate locations, as in the person who did this really wanted him gone? Did Was he really going for him and not her? And she happened just to be collateral damage because she was in the way? A lot of that's going to play a key factor in this. And I'm pretty sure that the investigators are already looking at that, okay? And like I said, the children were not harmed. So whoever did this had enough, empathy to not do anything with the kids, which is the only good thing we can, talk about. Now, I brought up those other theories, right? But the other theory would be the ex-husband. I saw people talking about the ex-husband, but they never mentioned any names. So I had to go find it and everything else. And this is what we came up with. All right, so let's take a look at MC. That's what I'm calling him. MC, who is Monique's ex-husband, her first husband. So here is a wedding photo of them together. As you see, I blanked out his face just because they have not told us yet that he's an official suspect. So since they have not said that, I'm blanking out his face and also giving him a name of MC. Okay? You guys can figure out the rest if you want to. Well, here's a wedding picture of them. And on the very bottom, which you guys can't see, it actually says congrats to Dr. and Mrs. and has their name because he was a doctor too. I don't know if he still is, but he definitely was a doctor. Now, here is a picture of him on a medical practice website, and it says his current practice is vascular surgeon. So he was a surgeon. All right. So I saw a lot of people speculating and commenting online on X and YouTube videos saying that the ex-husband, who I call MC, that she had a restraining order on him. But I didn't see anybody bring up any sort of proof or anything like that. Some people are even questioning if she really even had a ex-husband. Well, I just showed you the picture. So she did have an ex-husband, or does have an ex-husband, I should say. And here is the court filing for this, okay? Domestic case detail, divorce, no children. This was filed May 2nd, 2017. Right now it says closed. Now, here's the case number 17DR001691. So that is the case number. And as you see, Monique Sabatursky, I believe that's how you pronounce that. Okay, so that was her maiden name. And then I blanked his name out, of course, which is MC. All right, and it says date of marriage, August 22nd, 2015. No children. And if you scroll down, these are all the checks I believe they're supposed to do in that county or state when you go through a divorce. So they're supposed to do all these checks and they apply some of them don't apply. So for example, you see down here in yellow, it says mutual restraining order. So there was a restraining order. Now, I don't know if that's applied automatically. That part I don't know. It does say mutual. So I don't know if it's applied automatically in these cases in that situation. They even looks like they applied a domestic violence shelter, which that could be a lot of reasons. Child abuse. It looks like I see zeros for this, so it looks like they maybe checked on these things, but nothing was needed for that. And then you go down, affidavit for rule of property, affidavit of income. Now that stuff actually looks like that was applied. Clerk's hearing notice. So this is May 2nd, 2017. All right. And it says closed, but there's something I found. Watch this. Here's another domestic case detail. This is a totally different case number, though. 22DR 00686. This shows date filed March 3rd, 2022. This one also shows closed, but this is with a totally different woman. So MC got married to a totally different woman. He married this woman June 30th, 2017. So he married her right after the first divorce ended. Let's see. It says date filed on the first one, May 2nd, 2017, right? So that's on the first one. That's when it was filed. But once again, you go to this one, it shows date of marriage pretty much a month later. 1 month later, he married a new woman. So was he seeing somebody else on the side? Is this the reason why they were going through a divorce? Was there cheating involved or anything like that? Because he married another woman literally a month later. And then look right here. The same stuff applies to this one. Also a mutual restraining order. Same thing. Mutual restraining order. So I'm wondering if that's something that's a procedure. If anybody's had a divorce in Ohio or that state, let me know. Is that something that that automatically the judge applies or the court applies, or something you have to ask for? All right, here's another court document I found that was interesting. Now, this is under the same court number as the very first divorce with Monique, okay? Date of marriage, as you see, August 22nd, 2015. It's got Monique's name, and then underneath is going to have MC's name. But here's what's interesting. Look at these dates. Look at the date docket. The date docket was this last summer, June 18th, 2025. Strike schedule date. The filing, June 17th, 2025. And it was supposed to be at 9 in the morning for a courtroom appearance for September 26, 2025. Same courthouse. Then it says the original copy of the hearing notice filed. Okay. Then it's got MC's name. Then it's got the print date, which is still in June. Then the original notice of the hearing, which was, I guess, sent to Monique. Same date, June 17th. That's the print date, right? Then you look, it says continuance. Okay. But what I found interesting is, look at this right here. Hearing type, domestic trial dash CUST, which is short for custody. So domestic trial dash CUST, which is short for custody. What was this custody over? Because in the original court documents, it said they have no kids. Now, Monique did have 2 children with her husband that she unfortunately passed away with now, that we know of, that Spencer. There was a 1-year-old, some reports say 4, some reports say 5. But we do know there was 2 toddlers, okay? A 1-year-old and either a 4-year-old or a 5-year-old, all right? So why would they be having a domestic trial this past year over a custody hearing? Custody of what and who? That part I cannot find. What do you guys think?
The emergency there, police or medical?
Maybe both, I guess. I don't know. I'm kind of doing the
We already
wellness.
had a call out there. They knocked on the front door and back door multiple times, and there was no answer.
Yeah, no answer. I can hear kids inside, and I swear I think I heard one yell, but we can't get in. At this point, I don't know if I need to break the door in or just get in the house or what. So.
Okay, were you out there when the police was out there?
I wasn't. I just got here about 5 minutes ago.
Okay, all right. Well, we'll send them back out to you.
Our boss did not report for work. We haven't been able to get a hold of him for 3 hours. We are on site, and we can hear
Okay,
kids
I
inside.
just talked to somebody there.
Okay, I'm just making sure somebody called.
911, what's the location of your emergency?
1411 North 4th.
Okay, 1411 North 4th. We've got several calls on that. What's changed since the last person I talked to?
There's a body. There's a body.
There's a body inside?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on 1 second. Let me get you on the line with the medic, okay? Stay on the line.
Now, as you see, the ex-husband, who I'm calling MC, there was a restraining order like people said there was, and it says mutual. So I don't know if that's automatically applied. So you guys have to let me know if you've been through that before. I haven't, so I don't know. Then he got married again a month later, right after they got divorced. I don't think he just randomly met this woman in a grocery store while they're going to divorce and he's like, hey, want to get married. I mean, it's possible. It is. But still, think about that. And not only that, he just divorced her, what, about 2.5 years ago? If that. So they just got divorced. And then what if I told you their address? I didn't show you that, where they lived at, but you know they only lived 18 minutes away from where Monique and Spencer live. They were pretty much in the same area, same city, same town, only 18 minutes away. So he's still close by. I don't know if he still is, but when he was with the ex, they were still close by. All right. Now, everything I'm bringing to you, hopefully law enforcement is already looked into all this. I'm hoping. Hopefully they see everything that we have found. All right. Well, I just wanted to bring you guys this information. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think. Whoever did this, do you think it was somebody that Spence worked with? Do you think the other allegation people were throwing out there, it was a love triangle and one of them were cheating on one another? Or do you think it's MC, the ex-husband? I mean, there's no real evidence, but still. And then the motivation, if it was him, why? Why would he do that? And then you have this strange court document from this last summer over a custody hearing. Custody of who? Is it one of the kids? And if it is custody of one of these kids who was supposed to be 1 in 4 or 1 in 5, then does that mean there was a love triangle? Was one of those kids possibly the ex-husband's and nobody knows about this? Did Spencer know about this and maybe told people at his job? And that's why when he didn't show up to work, his job was so hesitant of getting the police involved. Think about this. He was an hour late to work and they were already calling the police. Already. They were already going to his house, showing up what's wrong. Your average, let's see you not show up for an hour and see if anybody shows up to your house from your job. So that right there might tell me that the people he worked with know that there was some sort of danger. And what was the danger? So it just makes you think, you know? But hopefully we will find out soon. My condolences go out to the family. And let me know what you think below. Please like, subscribe, share. If you're new to the channel, welcome. And like I said, if you are returning, thank you so much for helping this channel grow. This is Fugitive TV. I'm out.